got some bad news, but also some good news. A very good friend of mine was hit by a truck on her motorcycle last night. And I was sitting around last night, starting my cool down period where I was just relaxing, and then I got the call that you just never want to get. The name across my phone said it was my friend, but on the phone was an EMT saying that she was in a serious motorcycle accident and that she was being taken to the hospital. I was able to find out that she was in stable condition, so that was good, and he was talking to her at the time. So that relieved a little bit of stress from me, but I had to get all the way over to Orlando from the Space Coast here, which is about an hour drive, to find things out. It took a while to get in to see her because it turns out that she was admitted as a Jane Doe, and we didn't know that, so they couldn't find her name. And didn't get in to see her until about, I want to say it was 1:30 in the morning. She was awake and aware, but in pretty bad condition. From what she told me happened, she was riding home from work, going through an intersection. She had the green light, and a very large truck, I think it was a pickup truck, I didn't really get all the complete details, was either turning from the other side or coming across. I'm not exactly sure, but she thinks he saw her because he hesitated and stopped, and then just misjudged everything and accelerated right into her, so she was completely T-boned. She was knocked away from the truck, but she took the full force of the front of it. Her motorcycle ended up underneath it. Her motorcycle, by the way, was affectionately named Opie, after the character in Sons of Anarchy. She's a big fan of him. And it was completely towed. I haven't seen it. I don't know if I'll ever get to see it. I don't know if she has pictures of it or if she'll get pictures of it. But needless to say, it ended up underneath the truck. She had fractured both the arms at the wrist. I'm guessing that it was because she did what everybody would do and gripped the handlebars as tight as she could to brace for impact, and that was what caused the bones to snap right at the wrist. One was exposed, and her hand was broke, as the doctor said, completely off. They had to reinsert the bone and reset it and kind of stitch her up temporarily. I don't even know if they stitched her up temporarily, but they closed her up temporarily because she is going to need surgery, which should be happening in about a half an hour of right now when I'm doing this. She also shattered her pelvis in multiple places, and she's very lucky to be alive. She was wearing her helmet, and I do believe that is the one thing that saved her life. So I'm not going to go on any preachy vibe about how you need to wear a helmet, but you got to live your life the way you want to. I used to ride without a helmet when I rode my Harley, and once I moved over to sport bike, it just felt way more comfortable to wear a helmet, so that's what I did. And I'm okay with that decision. But really take into consideration your own safety. Although last night, no matter what gear she was wearing, she was going to get hurt. And she is a very cautious rider. I've ridden with her a couple of times, and I see it, how cautious she is. She maintains her distance between cars and around cars. And it doesn't matter how many precautions you take, how much gear you wear. Sometimes it all comes down to the other person paying attention. And I'm not sure what ran through this guy's head, but some lapse happened, and the result is my friend is in the hospital and looking at probably months of recovery. The reason I'm doing this on this as opposed to just sitting in front of a camera or anything like that is because, one, I'm more comfortable doing this, and two, of course, I want to ride in remembrance of Opie. I haven't talked to her about whether or not she's going to continue to ride. Knowing her the way I do, I think she will, because this is her second accident. The first one also wasn't her fault. She was rear-ended by a car at a stoplight. She was stopped, the SUV behind her was stopped, and then out of nowhere it punched the gas and took her out. She fractured her back at that time. Not bad enough to keep her down, and that's when she got Opie. It was a Yamaha Starbolt 900. Beautiful bike. I'll make sure I post a picture right here so you can see it. And the other reason we're going on this ride is because if you've been following along in the vlog, you know that I'm going through a process of trying to adopt a dog named Gypsy, and she has been on the medically unavailable list, as far as I know, for a couple of weeks now. I think it might be coming up on 3 weeks, as a matter of fact. But I'm just going to go by the Humane Society and talk to them and see what her condition is, and if she's doing any better. I don't want to push them to see her today. If she's not feeling well, I don't want to cause her any harm. I want her to be as comfortable as possible. She has some issues. She was in an abusive home, not necessarily to her, but to her owner. Her owner was in a situation where she was beaten by her boyfriend or spouse. I'm not sure what it is. And Gypsy doesn't take too kindly to men, which I am one of. I know, shocking, right? Anyways, because of that, it's going to be a process of me getting in her circle. The good thing is, the first time I saw her, the girl said that she probably wouldn't even let me pet her, which I was like, okay, we'll feed her treats and get to know her and all that. I fed her one treat. Gypsy spun around and sat down right between my legs and let me pet her. So I'm taking that as a good sign. But of course, I have to have her meet my dog Truffle, see how they get along, because Truffle is going to get the last word. The Truff, as she is known, will always get the last word, and I'm kind of hoping they'll be friends. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be. They said they were going to work with Gypsy to see how she is around small dogs, which my dog is a Chihuahua, very small Chihuahua, almost a squirrel. No, that's not why I got the name. If you watch the second video I posted, I tell you all about the name. Second or third video, I can't remember. It was the time I went down to the inlet. So we're going to go by and see her, or talk about her and find out, and then and all that. Once I get back on, we'll sign out and call this a wrap. Enjoy your day for now, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, so I just went in, talked to the lady at the desk, and she said that Gypsy is still not feeling well. She still has a problem with her lip, and she is coughing and sneezing, so not happy about that. A little bummed. And apparently I have competition for her, because she said 2 people called this morning asking about Gypsy. So the race is on. But she did tell me some new information I didn't know, which is that in dog on dog meets in the past, Gypsy has not fared too well. They didn't like each other. So that's not a good sign. But having a little hope here that the truff will make the difference, because no one can't like the truff. Alright, I'm sure I filled up enough of your time, so that's it for today. Next video, I will get back to you with updates on my good friend Elie Wolf and how she's doing. Oh, and also really quick, I was planning on doing an Adventure Time series ride this weekend, but due to the circumstances of Ellie's accident, of course, I am postponing that. I might even just cancel it altogether. Does not mean I'm stopping riding. No way. But yeah, I won't be able to do that ride because I am going to go over to Orlando to see her and see how she's doing after surgery tomorrow. And that is when I was going to do the Adventure Time series ride. So possibly next week, maybe. But if I don't, then it is definitely canceled. But I will continue to put videos up as often as I can. Thank you for watching. I always enjoy that. And most of all, peace in.